The Roanoke Marshes Lighthouse, the replica you see behind me here, is actually a replica of the third Roanoke Marshes Lighthouse. The first one, which was built in 1831, was actually built on the shore and it wasn't sited very well. At high tide it tended to get flooded, and due to constant repair over a course of the years it was eventually abandoned. The second Roanoke Marshes light was built in 1858. It was a hexagonal shape. It was set on 18 piles. However, it was built very high above the water, and due to constant flooding in that situation, they had wood rot, they got worms in it. That lighthouse was eventually abandoned in 1877. It was about that time that they began construction on the third one, a square-shaped lighthouse on 9 piles. It was built around 1876, finished in 1877, and it lasted until 1955 when it was decommissioned. Guy Midget from the town wanted the town of Manteo to acquire it. He put forth a drive to get a hold of it. Unfortunately, it was purchased from an individual in Edenton who decided to move it. They put it on a barge, but due to high waves, the barge shifted and the entire lighthouse fell into the sound and was lost. In 1995, John Wilson decided to propose to the town of Manteo to build a replica of the lighthouse to celebrate the centennial of the town. It took a while to get the funding started. Mayor Lee Tugwell endorsed the idea. He said it would be a great idea for the brick and mortar campaign for the centennial, kind of an exhibit that lasts far beyond the initial event. It gained quite a lot of popular interest, and he proposed that they build it out here in the Sound on the site of the old water treatment plant, which was a bit of an eyesore and an environmental burden at the time. The Dare County Tourist Bureau managed to get up a $105,000 grant along with the town of Manteo, which pledged $22,000 to tear down the old water treatment plant and to build a platform for the new lighthouse to stand on. Lighthouse construction began in 2003. Hurricane Isabel came through. There was a bit of a pause. Nobody knew exactly what was going to happen there. 2004, construction continued all the way up to the end of the summer when it was officially opened. And the crowning achievement of it was the Coast Guard loaned a 4th order Fresnel lens for the top.
What you see behind me is an iron screw pile, often called a helical screw pile. We were asked to go and identify a mystery object that was suspected of being a screw pile. I went out and had a look at the screw pile and then proceeded to have a group of my students, master's students from East Carolina University, come and do what we call a pre-treatment drawing, which is a drawing that we'll do to record something before an object is subjected to conservation so that it can go on display. In the process of making this drawing, we had to research it. What we found about this screw pile is it's a really interesting piece of American civil engineering history. In 1833, an Irish civil engineer by the name of Alexander Mitchell patents for the first time what comes to be known as the screw pile. It's actually, to begin with, it's a screw that has a chain attached to it that then ships could anchor to. So it's a way of fixing a ship to the seabed. But it soon dawns on him that you could actually use it for other things. And so the helical part, which sort of looks like a propeller, becomes the basis of a new sort of form of construction. And in the 1860s, the United States invests fairly heavily in iron screw piles and builds about 60 iron screw pile structures, and 12 of those are in North Carolina. One of them being a screw pile lighthouse built in Croatan Sound in 1877. And we believe that the screw pile behind us is a leg of one of those screw piles from the 1877 lighthouse that was destroyed in 1955.
The replica of the Roanoke Marshes Lighthouse helps to promote the maritime history of Manteo, North Carolina. Even though the original was located further down in the Sound, this helps to bring the lighthouse closer so that people can come and see what an actual working lighthouse is like. And the fact that we have an actual screw pile here for people to come up and touch gives it a better sense of history at your fingertips. While the replica is nice, the screw pile was actually there. It's over 100 years old. It's history that you can put your hands on.